Let me give you 2 good reasons to buy DragonSword Awakening right now. Alright, now let me give you a few more. DragonSword Awakening is the long-awaited spiritual successor to 2010's anime MMO Dragon Nest, a game whose combat was years ahead of its time. Many of the original developers behind Dragon Nest would eventually go on to form Hound 13, and after years of developmental troubles and an uncertainty if the game would even happen, we finally have this breathtaking, stylized anime game in our hands today. So what exactly is DragonSword Awakening? Well, it actually started development as a gacha game. Hold on, hang on, don't click off. After splitting with their publisher Webzen, Hound 13 removed the gacha system and released it as a $30 premium action RPG instead. Now the only things you can buy are cosmetics and mounts. Everything else is earned completely in-game, and even some of those cosmetics can be unlocked in-game. I'm gonna be completely upfront with you. DragonSword Awakening is one of the best $30 I've spent in gaming all year, and that's coming from someone who spent $40 on the Granblue Relink DLC, and also someone who wasted $70 on Echoes of Aincrad. I'm putting this game up there with one of my most enjoyed games of the year because this game gets far more right than you'd ever expect from a project that started as a mobile gacha and had nothing but an uphill battle since its inception. Let's talk about the story first. Honestly, it's pretty generic, but what really carries it is the characters. Just look at how you're introduced to Johnny, the leader of the mercenary group. Johnny is this loud, egotistical idiot who never shuts up about having the greatest mercenary company in the world, despite having zero feats to back it up. And then there's Castella, the hot-headed, short-tempered elf who's either arguing with everyone around her, drinking herself sick, or dragging Johnny away because he can't read the room. Arya is the straight man of the group, constantly delivering the important information to the people that need it, while dryly roasting the rest of the team, or being the one to signal Castella to drag Johnny out of the room. And finally, there's Link, our protagonist, a neurodivergent selective mute armed with the master. What do you mean I got the wrong blonde twink? Well, why the hell are there 2 of them with 4-letter names that start with L? Who came up with that? Sorry about that, guys. We actually play as Lutz, the protagonist and final member of Johnny's mercenaries, albeit a somewhat reluctant recruit. What I love about Lute is that he isn't just another silent self-insert, because obviously that would be a terrible design choice, who would do that. He has his own personality. He's usually pretty easygoing, but he will call people out, typically Johnny, whenever they start causing too much of a scene. The chemistry between these 4 is fantastic, and it's the reason I've only just finished Chapter 4. And what really impressed me is that these characters aren't one-dimensional. Johnny spends most of the game acting like an arrogant loudmouth, but the second someone's life is on the line, he's the first person to step up. The jokes take a back seat, and you realize he takes protecting people and the sacrifices of others incredibly seriously. Castella has the same depth. She may have a short fuse, but she knows exactly when it's time to stop joking around, show respect, and lock in. That being said, again, the main story is pretty standard. Legendary heroes saved the world in the past, one of the heroes died, the barrier protecting the realm falls, and now a reincarnated evil dragon is out to destroy everything. Wait, that's the evil dragon? Oh no, he's hot! Exploration is where I believe DragonSword Awakening will win a lot of people over. When it comes to exploration, the first thing you're going to do is unlock these Ubisoft-style towers that clear the fog of war and reveal major points of interest. Thankfully, that's where the handholding ends, because it would be really dumb if the game pointed you to exactly where all the chests are. In DragonSword Awakening, you're free to explore however you want. This world is packed with things to do, from simple puzzles and roaming world bosses to mole minigames, literal buried treasure, and spontaneous side quests. And above all, the game respects your time. It almost always rewards your curiosity with loot, a challenge, something new to discover, or something fun to do. I also love the little details. Different characters have unique chest opening animations depending on the chest rarity. Castella, who's obsessed with treasure, literally does a little excited shuffle before opening a rare chest. It's a tiny touch, but it gives the cast so much personality. Traversal is a big part of exploration, and there's a lot of care placed here as well. You'll be moving throughout the world on different mounts, and every mount has its own unique movement features, so getting around has its own flow to it. The direwolf has this boost jump, and the owl can air dash across large gaps, and other mounts can climb or dive more efficiently. And since each party member can equip a different mount, you'll naturally swap between them while exploring, making traversal feel like a part of the adventure instead of a mindless trudge through a barren map. But how is the combat? That's what really keeps you playing. Thankfully, combat is what DragonSword Awakening does best. Hound 13 are experts in their field, they really know how to make an action RPG feel satisfying. At its core, combat revolves around swapping between three characters, using their skills, then chaining it into the next teammate. It puts a heavier emphasis on character swapping than most games, which admittedly won't be for everyone, but once it clicks, once you find that right team combination, it just feels good. Each character has primary skills with a cooldown that decreases if you attack the enemy, and a tag skill that activates under certain conditions. And finding the right team to trigger those conditions is its own theory crafting fun. My main party uses Colleen to burn and break enemies, Castella to capitalize on those breaks and apply stun, and Loot to slam the enemies into the ground, applying knockdown so both Loot and Castella can unleash their strongest attacks. Instead of three separate characters, it feels like you're controlling one long, intricate combo. My favorite move so far is Loot's Relic Ball. Here, let me show you. Hang on, that's not right. How did that clip get in there? And that's just one setup. I've seen players turn this game into Devil May Cry Jr., juggling enemies in the air from the moment their break bar shatters until they're dead. The skill ceiling here is much higher than you would expect and gives you plenty of room for skill expression. There's plenty of animations to cancel. Hell, you can even completely avoid taking damage if you swap skills correctly, because characters that have longer attack animations stay on the field to finish their attack and don't take damage when on the field but not being played. Admittedly, combat might start off a little slow, but once your team comes together, once you find those right group of characters, it becomes flashy, fast, and incredibly fluid. I can't imagine many action RPG fans walking away disappointed. So maybe you're not convinced. Maybe you're asking yourself, but Darktree, why would I buy this game when there are free options? Who is DragonSword Awakening actually for? If you're someone who's always looked at Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves and thought, yeah, that looks fun, but I don't have a crippling addiction to gambling to fully enjoy these games, then this is probably the closest thing you can get to that experience without any of the baggage. But I think the people who will appreciate DragonSword Awakening the most are existing gacha players. At first glance, it looks like every other open world gacha on the market, and to an extent it really sort of is. But what this game does that none of these games do, or ever will do, or even can do, is put the player first. Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Arknight Enfields, all these games are designed to be a part of your daily routine. Log in and finish your dailies. Don't forget to finish your weeklies. Wait for certain days to farm certain materials for weapons or characters, and plan your pools weeks or even months in advance. Before long, the game you once adored starts feeling less like a hobby and more like a second job. DragonSword Awakening strips all of that away. You pay $30, less than a 5-star pool, and let's be honest, you know your luck. It was going to take 2 swipes anyway. And for $30, you get to play at your own pace and unlock everything through gameplay. No fear of missing out, no concerns about a stamina system limiting how often you can grind. Just a genuinely fun action RPG that respects your time and is made by developers who are trying to do the right thing in a time where it doesn't always pay off. That is what makes this game feel so refreshing. It is a case study that shows that the formula, the architect behind these style of games isn't really the problem. It's the predatory business model meant to strip the fun out of the experience unless you pay a premium. But for DragonSword Awakening, that premium is just a one-time $30 buy-in. And I can't think of a better deal.